Good morning guys, and welcome to this edition of Hikelopedia. As you may have guessed by now, I am not in Taiwan. I'm actually in the UK. Yeah, I've returned home for the first time in more than 3 years. You know the reason why. To see my family. So I'm currently staying at my mum's. So I thought it would be a good idea to give you an introduction to where I am from and then take you for a little ride around the area where I grew up. Now the town that I was born in, or nearby, is called Wolverhampton. It's in the West Midlands, and right now we're having summer. Summer days here in the UK are very long. The UK is way up in the northern hemisphere, so in summer it gets light at around 4:30 AM and then the sun doesn't set until almost 10 o'clock at night. So very long days and good for when you're on holiday, because you can pack lots of things into a single day. So one of the things I'm going to pack into today is a bike ride. Now I have a second-hand bike that I leave at my mom's house, and I often go out for a ride early in the morning. So that's what I'm doing this morning. I'm going to get myself on my bike and give you a little tour of Wolverhampton and the surrounding area. So let's go. Now this motorway behind me is the M6, and it passes right through the heart of the area where I grew up, and it's notorious. I think I once heard, I don't know if it's true, that it's one of the busiest stretches of motorway in Europe. It's a complete nightmare and it never gets any better. I was stuck on it for about half an hour a few days ago. Not fun. Now, when you mention Wolverhampton, the place where I'm from, to most people from England, they have a negative view of the place because, let's be honest, it's a post-industrial city, still recovering from its industrial past, you know, and it's a great place. I love it, but it's definitely a bit run down. Even so, in the surrounding areas, there are still a lot of beautiful little villages and open spaces. And I'm here right now in one little village called Shares Hill, which is not too far from where I live, and it's a beautiful little rural community, some beautiful houses, friendly people, and it's a nice place. So don't let the naysayers get you down. There's good in every place, and including Wolverhampton. Now, pre-industrial revolution, the West Midlands was, as probably most of the rest of the world, rural and farming country. And even these days, even though it's very built up and there's a lot of conurbation is the word we use in England, don't know how to translate that, you still don't have to go too far to find some farmland. Like here, this is a big field of wheat, and just back in Shares Hill I also found a field of maize or corn. So yeah, even though it has the impression of being a very built up and populated area, it's still quite rural at heart. Some of you may be wondering why I'm wearing gloves. After all, it is summer, but let me tell you, the UK, even though it's summer and quite warm during the day, mid-20s, sometimes up to 30, overnight it can still get pretty cold, and it's about 14 degrees this morning when I came out, but the other morning when I went for a ride it was about 9 degrees, so you still need gloves even in the summer. So I'm getting back towards home now and back on the old stomping ground, as we say in the UK, because this is known as Sneed Lane, this road, and several of my childhood friends used to live along here, and we spent many hours during our youth chasing what are known in the UK as conkers. They're actually the fruit of the horse chestnut tree, and in England we play this bizarre game with them. I'll try and find a clip of it here, where you have to bash the other person's conker and break it to win. And so there's a lot of horse chestnut trees along this road, and we used to spend hours during our youth throwing sticks up, trying to knock the best conkers down from the tree, and getting into a lot of trouble with the residents nearby. So I better hurry up and get out of here before one of them recognises me. Now this place behind me is a location where I spent many of my formative years as a young person here in the UK. And no, in case you're wondering, I never went to prison. This is actually my old secondary school. And believe it or not, when I went to school, which wasn't that many years ago, despite what you're all thinking, it was brand new. So how it went from a thriving secondary school to looking like this in just a few short years is kind of a mystery to me. And just a few hundred meters away is this place, my old primary school. Many a happy memory spent here many years ago. And the final stop on today's tour of my old neighbourhood is here, number 9 Bainton Road, my childhood home, where I lived from when I was born up until I think around I was 20. It's making me feel a bit all sentimental. I'm welling up coming back here. I better head on quick before I start crying. Now, another great thing about my mum's place is that it backs onto this, which is the Great Worley and Essington Canal. Now, this is just one part of a section of man-made waterways that stretches across the whole of England and the UK. And these were built a couple of hundred years ago or so to transport all the goods and wares that were made all over the UK and exported across at the time, the British Empire. So before we had cars, trucks and trains, they would have barges or canal boats, and they would stock them up with all their things that they've made in the factory and use big, and I mean big, horses to drag the boats along these waterways to the ports and cities of Great Britain. But nowadays the canals are obviously not in use for that, but a lot of people rent canal boats or have canal boats and tour the country by these beautiful and quiet waterways. And also they're a good place to go for a walk and to ride your bike, and you can use them to commute. For example, this one I can go into Wolverhampton and then onto Birmingham without actually having to encounter a road, which is really cool, very convenient. Alright, so I'm finally home. Been out for a couple of hours and I'm pretty hungry right now. So what better way to replenish all the calories I've just burnt off by preparing an English classic, a full English breakfast. Let's go inside and cook up a storm. Okay guys, so I'm here in my mum's kitchen. I'm washed and changed and I'm ready to make a fry up for a full English breakfast. Now what do you need for a full English breakfast? Some eggs, mushrooms, baked beans, tomatoes. Now these tomatoes were grown by my mum's neighbours, Janice and Don, in their greenhouse, so these are nice and fresh. To be truly authentic, you've got to go back in time to when people used lard to cook everything. Where's the meat? Oh yeah, you need several different meat products for a full English breakfast, and I went into my local town to buy them yesterday. So let's roll on that clip now and see what meat I got. Alright guys, so I am here in Willenhall, which is very close to where I grew up. It's, to be honest, it's a bit of a ghost town now, which is a shame because back in the old days it used to be a really thriving market town and the centre, believe it or not, of the global lock industry. But I'm just here to visit the local butcher and get some food for my fry up. Hi mate. I'm from around here originally, but I live in Asia now, so I'm just back visiting. I'll just get some plain pork. Thanks.
£3.
Yeah, and I'll get a black pudding, please. Give me 4 slices.
4 slices.
Thanks. Great.
Lovely, thank you so much. Thank you.
So I got me some bacon, some black pudding and some sausages, all for £7. Okay guys, so I've prepped everything now. I've got some dry cured bacon, 3 links of sausages, and then I've got my favourite and something everybody else hates, black pudding, which is the English version of Taiwanese 猪血糕 or 低会贵. Let's get cooking! Sizzling nicely. Okay, the sausages are done. We're going to pop them into the oven to keep warm while we fry the other stuff because the frying pan's not big enough to do everything at the same time. Shame you cannot smell this because it smells absolutely delicious. Oh, hello. Here's my mum. Have you come to help me?
No.
No? Oh.
Come to have a look.
Okay.
Smells nice though.
That's okay then.
Bye.
Bye. I burst the egg. That's what happens when you try to show off. Now for me, growing up, one of my favourite parts of a full English breakfast was fried bread. Yep, fried bread, not hash browns, that's American. You just take a slice of bread like this whack it in the frying pan. It sounds weird, but it is absolutely amazing. Let's do it. The bread soaks up all the fat and all the juices that have come out of the meat while you've been cooking them, and it gets nice and crispy and brown and tastes absolutely amazing. You've got to try it one day. Check that out, a breakfast fit for a king. Well, me anyway. And the perfect finale to a tiring bike ride. Alright, let's get it on the table and tuck in. But no full English would be complete with the last secret, well it's not really a secret, but a special ingredient. HP sauce, Houses of Parliament sauce. It's a classic British sauce that people eat with sausages and bacon and things like that, and a fry up. And I guess not too many people know that the secret ingredient that actually makes this stuff taste nice is tamarind, kind of a legacy of Britain's colonial past, for sure. Anyway, let's get some sauce on and let's get cracking. I'm so hungry. Cheers. So good. And here's some fried bread. Crispy, meaty, tasty. A slice of heaven. Here's the black pudding. It's not to everybody's taste, but I absolutely love it. This is so good. The ultimate comfort food breakfast whenever I come back to the UK. Anyway guys, that is it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed the little tour around my old neighbourhood and the fry up. If you did, then don't forget, give me a like, and you can subscribe to the channel and click on the bell for notifications if you'd like to catch my videos every Saturday morning. Thanks to everybody who got me a coffee this week. If you'd like to help support the channel, you can get a Hikelopedia patch for 3 coffees or more. Just head on over to my Buy Me a Coffee webpage and check it out. I'm going to polish off this breakfast and then I'll probably have to go for a lie down. But anyway, in the meantime, take it easy and I'll see you next week. Over and out.